Hi, Gerry Doyle here. I've got a really great story to tell you about this speaker cabinet, and here, as part of this story, I'm very honored to be with Juno Award-winning David Henman. David, how are you? Great to see you. David, founding member of April Wine, got inducted into the Canadian Music Industry Hall of Fame. How did that feel?
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, and appropriately so. David is really some of the best Canadian classic rock is from this gentleman right here, and it's an honor to have you here. And you have an amazing story to tell us about this particular cabinet that we have here today, and it's got to be probably the best story for Doyle Audio ever. So
yeah,
tell us about it.
Strictly accidental. I got this project in the back of my mind now to play through a half stack, which I did back in the day. And so being an aficionado of Craigslist, I'm on there every day seeing what's available. I'm seeing a few 412 cabinets with speakers and so on and so forth. And I see this baby advertised with no speakers, and I think, aha, perfect. So I go to the guy's place, a guy named Rex Shaw. Thank you, Rex. And he's not asking a lot of money for it because there's no speakers in it. And in the course of the transaction, he tells me that he thinks this is a Doyle cabinet. And I'm thinking, my friend.
He was right about that.
my friend Gerry, I'm well aware of Gerry's reputation for building solid cabinets. So I think, this is a bonus. So I get it home, and just for the fun of it, I decided to send Gerry an email, carry the care of the company. I sent the email and then completely forgot about it. Later that day, I'm having my afternoon nap, and the phone rings, and it's David Henman, Gerry Doyle, and I am freaking.
And I will tell you why I'm freaking. For us, David, when we first started our business, we really were inspired by a lot of great bands like April Wine, bands like Triumph, and Moxie, the Good Brothers.
The Good Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, that band was a Rush or Speed or something like that. I think they're still around.
Gatto.
And and Greg Godovich and Juno from Gatto, and you bands were the bands that I used to listen to and say, if this is rock and roll, I want in. And the other element too of why I got involved in building cabinets is that I discovered there really wasn't a lot of well-built cabinets. Nothing seemed to last very long. So I said, and I made a promise to musicians when I built cabinets, starting way back in 1980, is if I build you something that's going to last you a lifetime. And this is why I got so excited about this particular cabinet. What did you tell me was on the inside?
Well, yeah, the guy was telling me, Rex was telling me, he says, painted on the inside, spray painted on the inside are the words, check this out. Apparently that has some significance.
Absolutely. It goes back to Max Webster.
Max Webster.
And they had just released the album that had that on it. And I'm estimating that this is cabinet number 4.
Number 4, 3 or 4, I think you were saying.
Yeah, and it's blown me away.
It's home to roost.
Yes, and which means that this 412, which is in great working condition, that we're going to reload with another choice of drivers. Obviously speakers, made out of paper, after 30 years they'll wear out. But there you've got it. This is literally almost a 30-year-old, 29-year-old speaker cabinet. And I'm very proud to say that it will still be going with such an incredible guitar player and a great band. The David Henman Band, by the way. David, it sounds fantastic. I've heard the new album. And I'm really, in my heart, I'm so excited about having this cabinet continue. But David, you brought it home for me, my friend.
It's immaculate. It's immaculate.
Yeah, I know. It's great.
The casters are still. Check it out.
Yeah, and that came from always, using the best, never cutting any corners. Back then, we actually had, if you see right here, a stainless steel silver-plated back jack plate. It's amazing what you got here. We're going to load it up and get it rolling for you.
Put a nice Doyle logo on the front. Maybe
that's right.
Maybe a vintage logo.
We actually might still have an old silk painted vintage logo that we'll try and put on it. But David, thank you so much for bringing this joy and really completing our business story full cycle to see that the work that we're doing is still out there and still working.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, David.
Very exciting.
Yeah.